Hello, Sandra Lucas here. In this project, Leading with a Moral Compass, I feel like I learned a lot in this. First, I have my resource summary. And in the first video that was called Moral Compass by Chu D. Lee, he basically says a moral compass is pretty much the same thing as integrity. He says that without a moral compass, we would get lost, just as if we didn't have a compass and we were out in the wilderness somewhere. He kind of talked about camping and getting lost, or hiking and getting lost somewhere. He goes on to talk about some behaviors that we should never compromise on. Truth, he says, is the most important one, and I agree with that. People should know that they can trust us, that we mean what we say, and we're not going to go back on our word. He talks about the line between right and wrong and how we should just never even go near it, because once it's crossed, it's just too easy to keep doing it and going a little farther and a little farther. I really liked that video. The second one I liked a lot too. It was called Having a Moral Compass. And Frank Baccaro tells us to always put people first. And I really agree with this. I feel like we really have to think about the impact the things that we do have on other people. He talks about the ripple effect of harms to people when we put things like processes or results ahead of people. We can see this when people put money ahead of other things, or different things like that. I think we see this a lot in our society. He talked about respecting everybody's dignity, which I think is really important, the value of human life, and everybody needs to be treated with respect and dignity, and I felt that was really important. He also talked about the importance of honesty to our integrity, and that once we become leaders, we no longer have private lives. And I do think that's true, especially, just because I live in a small town. Everyone kind of knows if you behave one way, one place, and, go somewhere else and act differently, everyone's going to know that you're a hypocrite. So we just need to sort of assume that people are going to know what we do, and what, we're not going to have this sort of alter ego private life that nobody knows about. We need to constantly have our integrity. Anyway, so the next one the video was made by the Macomb School of Business, and it was called Moral Emotions Concepts Unwrapped. And it basically tells us that we really don't rationalize before we make moral decisions. We don't think, okay, that's right, I'm going to do that. We don't take that thought process into account. Really, what we do is we are ruled by our emotions and our intuition. So we might not, drop that piece of trash because people are watching, or somebody might see, and we don't want them to see us as doing that. The video talks about how our emotions evolved to help us live in social groups. So like we automatically make our moral decisions based on how we think others will respond. So he talked a little bit about, or the video talked a little bit about emotions like guilt and shame and embarrassment, and how they make us kind of follow social norms and help our society. It also defined a concept called moral dumbfounding. And this is a situation where we can't rationalize a moral choice we made. Maybe we did something wrong and we can't rationalize it. We can't say, well, I deserve to do that, or whatever. And this is because we made those decisions with our emotions. We didn't think rationally when we were making them. Since emotions are not infallible, it says that we should use mindfulness techniques to train ourselves to rationalize morals before we react with our emotions, which I think is important. We have to really take that moment to stop and think, how is this going to affect other people? Is this the right thing to do in, aligning with our values? They also supported a humanistic view of morals, showing that empathy towards others can fix a lot of moral wrongs, and I do agree with this. And it talked about racism actually dehumanizing other people, and I absolutely agree with that. When we look at somebody else and think that they are less than, or not as good as, that is dehumanizing them. I do, one of my moral values, ethics, is that all human life is valuable. And so to me, that is dehumanizing people. So I really like that. In the next it was an article called Set Your Moral Compass True North. Stephen Mintz, I really, really liked this quote by him, so I put this here. He said, we shouldn't just embrace tolerating people. We should embrace treating others as our equals, as long as they seek to do the right thing as we know it. We should strive to improve the lives of others, regardless of their preferences, because that's how we build a moral society. And I do think that quote just kind of summed up the whole article really well. I do think we need to do more than tolerate other people. We need to get along. We need to try to see their point of view. And even if we can't ever agree, on something like, say, marriage or abortion, things like that, at least we can still try to do the best for them and not dehumanize them. So anyway, I thought that was a really good article. And then the last one was The Moral Compass by Brian Orchard. And he basically says that whatever mental processes point a person in a particular, or whatever our mental processes are, point a person in a particular direction in life, that's what's going to make our character. So he kind of said that most people don't want to know where the moral north is because it'll interfere with our lifestyles. I can see that sometimes, even in myself, I mean, if I were really going to be a humanistic, moral person, maybe I would give all my money to poor people who are starving to death in another country or something. So I guess I can kind of see this, but I had a hard time wrapping my head around that a little bit. So I'm still working on it. Anyway, here is my moral compass. So I made my compass pointing north, and I think my sort of biggest, most important ethical belief is whatever I want others to do to me, I want to do the same for them. Even if I don't like them, even if they don't like me, even when I don't feel like it, all that sort of stuff. And that goes along with always putting people first ahead of other things. And it goes along with treating others with respect and dignity. And I think the sort of the tip of that point is love, treating other people with love. It helps me to think when I look at another person, like let's say I'm getting angry because somebody cut me off on the road. If I look at them and think, that's somebody's son, that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's mother, that's somebody's father, they just made a mistake, they did something stupid, I shouldn't take it personally, sort of a thing. And that, I guess, goes along with empathy and justice. As I go down farther toward the south, I sort of get into things that maybe are taking me away from my moral north, which is, always putting people first and do unto others what I want them to do to me. And justice is sort of a double-edged sword. You want justice, but, on the freeway, when that guy just cut me off and then slowed down and now he's driving like a jerk, what is justice? I need to just let it go. Sometimes he's having a bad day. I don't know what his, frame of mind is. I'm not going to try to pursue justice unless he's actually, doing something so dangerous that I need to call the police. But along with all of these is honesty and mercy, having mercy for others when they make a mistake. I know I've made plenty of mistakes in my life. Honesty, I think I have to talk about as I get down. So I put this line in the middle because that's sort of my line in the sand of where I don't want to go near. Now, if I start getting over by that line, I get into envy and conceit and pride and bitterness. And all of those things are just going to lead me to vengefulness and selfishness. And so I just don't even want to go anywhere near there. Because that's the south down there where I don't want to be. And I probably should have put on here, but I didn't know if it fit, is gossip. Gossip is a big one that I have to be careful of. When I go into a room and people are talking about somebody else, it's just really easy for me to get sucked into it. So, and that goes right along with envy and pride and conceit and bitterness and selfishness, all those sort of things. So I need to stay away from that line and stay up there with my things that are most important to me: honesty, empathy, and love, and mercy, and justice. So that's my moral compass. And here are my references. They were all really great videos. My addendum, the standard correlation. The materials in the assignment did provide me with an understanding of how important integrity is, especially in leadership positions. I do think as an educator, I am modeling what I do for my kids, and I want to make sure that they always know that I'm going to do what's right, and even when I don't think anyone's looking. I think that's really, really important for them to trust me. If they think that I'm going to do something immoral, or I'm going to, not be truthful, how are they going to trust me with their grades and their assignments? And really, for children sitting in a classroom, they have to trust us as the adult who's in charge, who's going to take care of them. Even high school kids need that. I think it's relevant in that the resources I used in this assignment were in alignment with my own ethical beliefs. I did find them to be a good reminder of my priorities. The reflection, the knowledge I gained from this assignment will help me to be mindful in the future of how my actions affect those around me. And it really was a reflective thing of thinking about all of these things that I don't think about every day. So the time I took to think about what's important to me, how do I want to treat others, that sort of things, the process of creating my own moral compass really did help me to reflect on my own values and the behavior that I want to model as an educator. And that is the end of my assignment. So thank you.